Okay, we're doing some reading vocabulary, and I've got a different kind of task today. Okay, let me show you it. I've got two of these tasks. Where are they? Let me open them now. Yeah, okay. Let me pull this across. Have a look at this. Can you see a table with 15 numbers in?
Yes.
15 boxes. Okay, so I've got two of these. One of them is around verbs and the other one's around adjectives. Okay, and then I've got another quick task for us to do as well, if we have the time. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to give me 5 sets of 3 numbers. So it could be 4, 7, and 10. It could be 11, 6, and 4. Okay, 5 sets of 3 numbers is what I want you to do. And I'll explain why. Can anyone see any verbs in this box? Verbs on their own? Stretch,
Stress,
compound, and these ones. They're all verbs. Bit of noise in the back there. If you've got noise, pop yourself on mute. What I want you to do is, I want you to go and have a chat in groups, and I want you to find me 5 sets of 3 numbers. Now, let me give you an example. Put your hand up if you know what any of these words mean. Anyone know any of those words? Let's go Tasnim. Tasnim, do you know any of those words?
yes, I think indoors,
You know endorse. Okay, what does endorse mean?
agree,
Agree. Oh, no, not really. Not really, but let me show you how this is going to work. Okay.
yeah,
I want you to find the definition of that word in this box.
okay.
Take your time. Is there a box that you think, yeah, that looks like it means the same thing? Tell you what, I'll zoom in a little bit as well. Is there anything there that's I don't want anyone else to help. It's just me and Tasnim for now. Anything that you think might be similar to agree? Agree is not a bad, it's not a bad try. Are you still there, Tasnim?
Yes, I can't find anything here.
Okay, so I'll show you. It's this one. Okay. To officially
Support, yeah.
publicly support. So support, agree there. I can understand why you'd say that.
Yeah.
But to endorse. So for instance, did you see what happened in the USA recently with Joe Biden?
I'm not sure.
Well, he's 80 years old, isn't he?
Yes.
And he resigned. He said, I know he didn't resign, but he pulled out. He said, I'm not going to try and be the president again. And he endorsed his vice president. He endorsed Kamala Harris, didn't he?
Yeah,
So,
he supported, yeah.
Yeah, he said, that's it. I'm going to support Kamala Harris. So
Yeah.
he officially and publicly supported her.
All right. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay, so there's a definition. Those ones, there's a definition. Now, there's also a sentence or an idea in the box which also connects to that. Now, can you see any examples in any of these boxes where there is official or public support? Now, if we look at the first one, he had diabetes and an unhealthy lifestyle. That doesn't officially or publicly.
Yeah, doesn't affect.
Number 2, the nurses union advised its members to accept the deal.
I think so.
Seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That seems good.
Support
Okay.
them, yeah.
So this is what I want for you guys to do. Okay. The answer there is 9, 11, 2.
Yes.
I want the verb.
The definition and the support. Yeah.
And the example, yeah. That's what I want us to do. So I want us to go into groups and try and find 5 of those. The first one is 9, 11, 2. What are the other ones? And the reason I'm doing this is because I just want to shake it up a little bit. Let's think about things in a different way. And sometimes when we try and do exercise, even though it's basically the same idea, new vocabulary, definitions, how do we use it? It's the same idea for all vocabulary classes, but it just gets us to think about it a little bit differently. We talk to each other a little bit differently as well. So yeah, I want 4 more of those, please. 4 more of those. And then I've got another one lined up, which is for adjectives. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about this? No? It's okay?
I'm so sorry. Can I ask you about endorser and about your example with Joe Biden? Can I say that Joe Biden not endorsed but committed? If would it be a synonym or not to endorse? Committed to do something to that lady. Sorry, I don't know her name.
No, to commit is a bit different. To commit means that you agree to do something. So and you don't break your promise. It's like a promise to commit. So if you commit to your wife or you commit to your husband, then it means I don't want anyone else. It's you, just you, and I'm going to work with you to make this relationship work. You're committed. You won't look and you won't, next, oh, I'm not having a good day today. I'm going to go to Japan. You won't just go and leave. So that would be commit. In this case, I'm not saying it's not possible for Joe Biden to commit to Kamala Harris. What that would mean was he would say, look, I'm going to support you and I'll be here to support you throughout this whole process. But to endorse is to go out and tell the world that he thinks that she's the right choice. Slightly different.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do it. Let's go into rooms. Let's see what we can do. I want each group to come back with 4 of these. Okay, 4 of those. You might think it's easy. I don't know. Let's just have a look and see what happens, but it will provoke some conversation. All right, I'm opening the rooms now. All right, if you're at home, give yourself, I don't know, 5 minutes to do that, or take as long as you like. All right, we're back on. I'm going to start with Natalia. Are you there, Natalia?
Yes. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Natalia. Now, people are saying that wasn't easy. What did your group think?
Some definition it's easy, but some we left and not easy.
I think the problem is with an exercise like this, if you make one mistake, you're in trouble for the others.
Yeah, it's related with all continuum mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we do stretch? Did you do stretch in your group?
Yeah, stretch. We relate with make something go further without breaking it.
Okay, brilliant. So you went 3, 4.
Yeah.
Noise in the background, guys. Yeah, so you went 3, 4. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. 3, 4. And what idea did you connect it to?
Do you mean with stretch and these 2 definition and what relate to another definition, yeah, or another one?
Well, an idea. Which sentence did you connect it to? So 3, 4. The first one was 9, 11, 2. So this one is 3, 4. Well, if you didn't do it, it's fine. But let's just look at it. Which of them do you think it could be? If we look at it now, stretch. The idea of stretching something is to make something go further without breaking it. Okay, so imagine if this was a t-shirt or something, you could stretch it, couldn't you? Does that make sense?
Maybe first one. He had diabetes. No?
Well, my question to you there would be, what is being stretched in number 1?
Nothing.
Because I can't think of anything being stretched there. But if we think of
lifestyle, maybe like make lifestyle.
But can you stretch a lifestyle? I don't think you can. What I think you can stretch is physically, you can stretch things that have got elastic in.
Yeah, physically.
Yeah, you can physically stretch them. Now, if you know, have you ever had it where you wear a jumper?
Muscles, yeah, muscles, or
Yeah,
how is called will heal in ankle.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, over time they heal. But when you've got a jumper and you've got a shirt on and you haven't done up the shirt and you put your arm into your sleeve and then you stretch it and it's too stretched now, isn't it? It's too big, the arm of the that's not good. You've stretched it too far. It hasn't gone back. So there are times where you can sort of overstretch things as well. But that's the physical. I think you can stretch any resource. So for instance, let's say that normally in our house we have 2 pieces of toast at breakfast, but we haven't got much bread left and we've got no money. So what do? We say, let's only have 1 piece of toast each today. And that means we can have toast tomorrow as well. And then you're stretching the same amount of bread over a longer period. So you're stretching it.
Divide, just making from 1 piece 2 pieces.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're instead of having 2, you're having 1, but it means that you've got food for 2 days, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The same amount of food, but you can eat for longer. So that's the idea of stretching something. Now you can stretch anything. You can stretch money. You can stretch petrol. You can stretch time. You can stretch something else, which is here today.
Paul,
Yeah.
is it like pushing the limits?
Yeah, it is very similar, but pushing the limits can also mean other things as well. But yeah, you're pushing the limits. We thought the limit was here, but we've actually pushed it further and we've got more out of it. Yeah. So let me tell you, Natalia, this is the one I was thinking.
Extended.
14, Natalia.
Yeah.
Abstract,
50% of
abstract
stuff.
meaning.
Let's wait. I'm talking to Natalia. Guys, if I'm talking to one person, that's it. Okay, so Natalia, tell me, why do you think the word stretch applies to this?
We have only only 50% of stuff.
Yeah.
And stretch what we can stretch.
Well, let me ask you this question. We've got 50% of the staff. Have we got 50% of the work we need to do? Or the same amount of work that we need to do?
Same amount. It needs that we have 4% work.
I don't know where 4% comes from, but we've got.
I mean, all amount of job.
Yeah, we've got 100% of the work that we need to do, but only 50% of the people to do it. So,
we can stretch this for all these people. Yeah,
we have to stretch the people, don't we? So you would say we're very stretched today. That means everyone's doing more than normal. Is that a good thing?
Not really, because this work usually do 2-person example, and today this amount of job have to do 1 person. It's not very good for worker.
It's not good for the worker. It's not good for the patient either, is it? Because when you're stretched like that, it's very difficult to do the work as well as you want to do it. You know, you might miss some details, or
not officially.
Yeah, you might not do the job as well. So stretch, make something go further without breaking it. We only have 50%. Okay, thank you, Natalia. That was a tough one.
Difficult. Anyway, thank you, Paul. Yeah.
Okay, let's go for Aithel. Are you there, Aithel?
Yes, hello, Paul.
Let's do compound.
Okay, it's like number 13, make something bad even worse.
Absolutely, yeah. It is to compound. Now, a compound fracture or a compound is where there's 2 things, isn't there, or more together. It's not just a break, it's also through the skin. But to compound as a verb, yeah, absolutely right. To make something bad even worse. Okay, give me something else. What do you think?
I think it's number 1. He had diabetes and unhealthy lifestyle, like something is worse.
Yeah, it was already bad, wasn't it?
Yes.
You already had diabetes, but then having an unhealthy lifestyle, does that make your diabetes better or worse?
it make worse.
Of course, yeah. So if I was to put that into a sentence, he compounded his situation by having an unhealthy lifestyle. Does that make sense to you, Ethel?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So what have we got? We've got 3, 4, 14. 3, 4, 14. I don't know whether you guys kept a record of the numbers. Then we've got, what was that one? 5, 13, 1.
5, 13.
Yeah, 5, 13, 1. Let's pop that down there. 5, oops, 13, 1. These are the numbers that I've got on my page as well. All right, let's go for Emal. Are you there, Emal?
Yeah, I am.
Shall we try obscure or STEM? Which one?
Yeah.
Which one would you like?
Obscure.
Yeah.
I think it's number 7.
Okay, let's have a look. Let me just get a new color in here. We'll go for bright blue. Yeah, obscure. Absolutely correct. And give me an example.
We want to keep the patient information obscured.
Yeah, but there's an example in the box, isn't there? Which number?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, when we do the next box, I want to find an example as well. The example is number 8.
8, yeah, number 8.
So now tell me, Amal, why does the word obscure match number 8?
It's like he or she has some hidden disease, some problem, not visible.
Absolutely, yes.
He or he has that problem.
Yeah, so obscure has got 2 meanings. All right. First one, if you obscure something or if something is obscured, then it means that it's hidden. Something else is in front of it. So maybe you might look for your car, but you can't see your car because there's a bus, a big bus, and your car is obscured. The bus is in front of it. And when the bus goes away, now you can see your car again. It's not obscured. But something can also be obscure. Something is obscure. So maybe there's an illness or a disease or a bacteria that you've only ever seen once in your life, and it was in Mongolia in a laboratory. Okay, that's a very obscure bacteria, whereas Staphylococcus is not obscure. That's all over the place. Okay, we see that. What would be a word that you'd use for it's everywhere?
Pandemic.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous is what I was thinking. I was thinking ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Yeah. But obscure would be, you don't very often see it. It's very rarely seen. It's obscure. Okay. So it doesn't just have to be bacteria. It can be anything. But to obscure something is to hide it. So as you say, Amal, absolutely. He seemed healthy and fit, but that hid the fact that underneath all of that, he had a heart disease. So there was a famous Nigerian football player called Kanu. He played for Arsenal in the UK. Fantastic football player. He was just at the beginning of his career. He signed for Inter Milan in Italy. He was going to take on the world. And then what? They found he had a hole in his heart on a routine check, and he had to stop playing for 2 years. So everything was healthy and fit. It seemed he had been playing in top level football, but actually underneath that all of that healthy exterior obscured his heart problem. All right. And then we've got the last one. Let's go for Ahmad.
Hi, Paul, yeah.
Yeah. So this one, have you ever heard of this word before? STEM. Obviously, we say question STEM, don't we?
Yeah.
And a question stem. If I was going to draw a stem, this would be a stem, wouldn't it? This thing here, and the flowers at the top. Okay, that's called a stem. Now that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Question stem, and it could be a verb. Everything stems from
It's a stem cell.
Stem cell as well. It's like the place where things begin, isn't it? That's what it gives you the sense of. A stem cell is a cell that you can impose a function onto. Yeah, so that's the idea. It stems from, if you think about a river stems from a mountain, okay, from a mountain spring. But, or the root, yeah, it gives you the sense of that. But in this case, it doesn't mean that. So Ahmad, have you ever seen it mean this before?
Stop something from continuing to happen.
Yeah, have you ever seen that before, to stem?
Yeah.
So where have you, how have you seen it used before?
To eliminate a disease from continuing to happen.
And
Something
a
like that.
disease. Well, what's this word up here? Tourniquet. Do you know what tourniquet means?
It's instrument, medical instrument.
To do what?
To take blood and to
Well, sometimes people put a tourniquet on in order to get blood. Yeah, you know, I don't need it. I've got really sort of prominent veins on the inside of my arm, so I don't need one. But if you've got very sort of, how would they say it? Your veins don't show. Then they might put a tourniquet on to pump the blood into the vein, mightn't they? And make the vein big. So it looks a bit like this. So if I was to do a drawing again, here's your arm. And they put a tourniquet around it, don't they? And they tie it round and they make it really tight. And then the vein goes big in your arm like that. But that's not what a tourniquet is really for, is it? What's a tourniquet really for?
Sometimes it's used
Stop
for
bleeding.
to
Stop
prevent bleeding.
bleeding.
Yeah, it limits bleeding,
Bleeding.
doesn't it? It stems bleeding. That's what it's for. So if you get shot in the arm or something, or shot in the leg, if you get shot in the calf, then they'll put a tourniquet around, won't they, to stop the bleeding from coming out. And that's a tourniquet. You put that round, you tie it like a belt could be a tourniquet, couldn't it? So to stem, we often use that word, to stem the flow of blood, to stem blood flow. And for me, it's a bit of an interesting one because you've got a stem cell and you've got that a river stems from a mountain spring. That means it comes from, it produces a flow. But in this case, it also means the opposite. To stem bleeding means to stop it from happening. So it's a really interesting one. It could also be something like a flow of people from a country, to stem the flow of people coming in or coming out. So the whole Brexit vote in the UK, they were trying to stem the flow of immigration from Europe to the UK. That the people who voted for Brexit, they were trying to stem the flow of people into Britain. So it's an interesting word for me. So
you vote in the pro or against in the Brexit?
Me, I wanted to stay in the EU. I was a Remainer. I was a Remainer. I mean, it's a very complex issue, but a lot of families had arguments about things like that, and my family was no different, really. But yeah, so there we go. We've got obscure, which was 12, 7, 8. Just in case you were doing the numbers, 12, 7, 8. And then the last one was, what was it, 15? Yeah, 15, 10,
6,
1.
10.
15, 10, and 6. Yeah, 15, 10, 6. Yeah. That was it. So I want you to come up with some more numbers, guys, because I've got another one. But I'm not going to put you into groups. Okay? I'm going to leave you to do it in the class. I'm going to be looking around to see if there's anybody else. If anyone does have any questions, I'll be happy to help. But I'm not going to give any definitions or make any connections. If there are any words in here, not these ones. Okay? These are the adjectives that I want you to try and work out, okay? If there are any other words in any of these other boxes that you're thinking, I'd like to know what that means, you can ask me, okay? But I'm going to put some time on the clock now, 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes on the clock. I wanted you to do the same thing. Which numbers go together? Starting now, 3 minutes. Keep yourselves on mute, guys, please. Okay, remember, if you haven't told me in the chat box, I will assume that you can speak. Okay. Okay, we've got about 10 seconds left. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, so we're going to go for Khalid, Caroline, Oki, Anna, and Iman. Okay, let's start there. I've also got Marwa here as well, who can help me as a backup. All right, okay. So let's start with Khalid. Give me any word that you like. Khalid, which one would you like to do? Which adjective?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, so I will go for, I think, the 14.
14, adverse. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
what are your numbers?
so 14, 10, 6,
Okay, let's go and have a look. So you've got 14, 10, 6.
and 3 as well.
Well, that's 4. You can't do.
I'm just one word between one. I'm just no, I have a doubt.
So you're not sure between 6 and 3. Is that right?
Maybe yes. I think 6 is not good.
Well, let's go and have a look. Okay, so 14. 14, adverse. Adverse does go with 6, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's harmful, or it's, for instance, adverse could be weather. So what type of weather would be adverse to a picnic?
Cold weather.
Cold. I don't mind cold. Eating outside's not bad if it's cold, but you don't want to eat outside if it's
raining or snowing.
Yeah.
Rainy.
Rain is the enemy of a picnic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if it's a bit cold, you can just put a coat on and you can still enjoy the outside. But if it's raining, you can't really have a picnic. Okay. So 14.6. You were right with, yeah, you were right. So we often use adverse, don't we, with side effects. We do. We often do that. So that's number 1. Okay, great. We've got number 1. That's the easy one, isn't it? I think, Khaled.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that's the easy one. Okay, let's go for number 2. We'll go for, thank you. Let's go for Carolina. Have you
Yes,
got
here
any?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, give me any